stood at the gate with my boarding pass folded soft from nervous fingers, the kind of nerves that come from flying alone too often, from knowing the routine so well it becomes background noise. The airport smelled like burnt coffee and jet fuel and impatience. People lined up with the same dead-eyed stare, shoes half off, bags half open, everyone waiting to be processed and pushed into the sky. I had made this flight 100 times. Chicago to Phoenix, window seat, early morning. I was on my way to close a deal that could change my career, a promotion, a chance to finally move out of the grey cubicle world into something that felt like power and choice. I wore a navy blazer, jeans, flats, professional, neutral, invisible on purpose. When the gate agent called boarding, I stepped forward with my group. The pilot stood just past the jet bridge entrance, smiling, greeting passengers. Tall, confident, movie star jawline, the kind of man people trusted without thinking. When it was my turn, he glanced at my boarding pass, then at me. He didn't hand it back. Instead, he smiled wider. "You're not boarding this flight," he said lightly, like he was joking. I laughed reflexively. "Sorry." He leaned closer, lowering his voice. "You're too beautiful to just walk past me like that. What's your name?" People were moving behind me, annoyed sighs pressing into my back. I felt heat crawl up my neck. "I need my boarding pass," I said. "I'm late." He didn't move. "Give me your phone number first." I stared at him, convinced I'd misheard. Airports make things surreal. Authority figures blur into uniforms. "I'm not interested," I said, calm but firm. "Please let me board." His smile thinned. "Then you're not flying today." I waited for the punchline. It didn't come. "You can't be serious." He gestured toward the gate agent, who suddenly found something fascinating on her screen. "My aircraft, my call." People were staring now. Someone muttered, "Just give it to him." My heart slammed against my ribs, fear mixed with disbelief, then anger, hot and sharp. "I'm not giving you my contact information," I said. "This is inappropriate." His eyes hardened. "Last chance." I shook my head. He handed my boarding pass back and stepped aside, blocking the entrance just enough. "Next passenger." Just like that, I was erased. I stood there as the line moved around me, cheeks burning, hands shaking. When the door finally closed, the gate agent avoided my eyes. "You can rebook for tomorrow," she said. "There's a change fee." I walked away in a daze, humiliation clinging to me heavier than any luggage. In the bathroom, I stared at my reflection. Same face, same body, somehow now a liability. I didn't cry, not yet. I called my boss, explained. His silence said everything. That night in the hotel, I replayed it over and over. His voice, his confidence, the way no one stopped him, the way power protected him. I could have let it go, filed a complaint into the void, rebooked, moved on. Instead, I opened my laptop. I worked in compliance consulting, risk mitigation, corporate accountability. I knew systems. I knew how paper trails strangled careers quietly, legally. I started with the airline's code of conduct, then FAA regulations, then passenger rights. I wrote everything down, dates, times, names, gate number, witness descriptions. I sent myself emails, timestamps locked. Then I searched him. Pilots weren't invisible. His name was on the crew list posted online. Public pride. Captain Daniel Mercer, decorated, charismatic, a face used in recruitment brochures. I found his social media. Polished, charity runs, cockpit selfies. Comments from women dotted every post, flirtatious, worshipful. He replied to many. Patterns started to form. I didn't reach out. I waited. 3 months later, I was on another flight, same airline, different route. I dressed differently this time. Softer, lighter, hair loose, the version of me men mistook for available. Captain Mercer was there again. When our eyes met, recognition flared, followed by surprise, then satisfaction. He smiled like we shared a secret. As passengers boarded, I slowed my step. When I reached him, I let my eyes linger just enough. "Didn't think I'd see you again," he said. "I fly a lot," I replied quietly. He glanced around, still mad. "You embarrassed me," I said, voice low. "You cost me a lot." He leaned closer. "I could make it up to you, drinks when we land." I hesitated just a beat, then nodded. "Maybe." He handed me my boarding pass this time, fingers brushing mine. In my seat I exhaled slowly, phase 1 complete. After landing I didn't meet him. I let him text the number I'd given, a burner phone registered under an LLC I controlled. I replied days later, apologetic, curious, forgiving. We talked, he flirted, he boasted, he complained about women who couldn't take a compliment. I let him talk. I recorded everything. Over weeks I learned his habits, his roots, his arrogance, the way he believed he was untouchable. Then I widened the net. Through industry forums and quiet LinkedIn searches I found other women, former flight attendants, gate staff, passengers who'd posted vague complaints and deleted them later. I didn't accuse, I asked questions. Stories poured out, not identical but close enough to rhyme, numbers demanded, seats reassigned, careers stalled, silence bought with fear. I built a timeline. When I finally filed the complaint, it wasn't just mine. It was a dossier. The airline responded with a polite acknowledgement. I waited. Then I leaked nothing. I let the system do what it did best when cornered. An internal investigation began, quiet interviews, schedule changes. Captain Mercer stopped posting selfies. He texted me one night, "Things are getting weird, you wouldn't know anything about that, would you?" I didn't reply. Weeks later a reporter called me, investigative, careful. I told her everything, on record with evidence. The story broke on a Tuesday morning. By noon the airline issued a statement. By evening his name was trending. By Friday his flights were grounded. I watched the press conference from my living room, the same blazer I'd worn that day hanging on the back of a chair. The airline CEO spoke about values, about safety, about respect. Captain Daniel Mercer was terminated for multiple violations of company policy. He sent one last message, "You ruined my life." I typed deleted, then finally sent 3 words. "You did this." I boarded a flight the next week. Same gate, different pilot. He smiled and said good morning and handed back my boarding pass without comment. I took my seat by the window, the city shrinking beneath me as the plane lifted, lighter than I'd felt in months. Power, I learned, only survives in silence. And I was done being quiet.